And you've just heard Dangerous Wee Peligrosa by Flava J. And I'm so pleased to be joined by Flava J now. Hello.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. How are you doing, Alyssa?
I'm really well. I'm really well. Thanks for joining me. So what can you tell us, first of all, about the song Dangerous Wee Peligrosa?
Oh, this is a comeback story. As soon as I heard this song, first of all, thank you to Joe Maggi that has shown me this song for the first time. And I just felt it within me that there was a story behind this. And after a dedicated chat, we wanted to put a little bit of cultural within the song and come back to the dance scene. I was originally a dancer, and unfortunately, I was away from the industry for 6 years. So this was exactly what I needed to come back full strength as a singer and as a dancer. So yeah.
And how do you describe your music? Because it seems to me that it takes in a lot of influences. You know, it's a real broad church.
It's been so confusing to know exactly where I am from and where do I belong. And to be honest, I still didn't find that. Is a work in progress. So all my backgrounds are not little. I've got like at least six different countries where I take influences by my family. And obviously Scotland, because I've been here for 13 years. I used to also live in London. So all these influences somehow are emerging in my music right now. And yeah, I try to not stick to one genre. Even if I wanted to stick with one genre, I don't think I could do it. I just want to be trying and finding my voice, and my voice changes in every single genre. So this is the beginning.
So can you go into some detail maybe about some of those influences, not just the genres, but the artists as well? Because it's a wide range, isn't it?
Absolutely. When it comes to artists, it's harder because I try not to compare myself, as I think majority of the artists they don't like comparing. But when I see the attitude, first of all, Rihanna for me is like as my queen and the person that I've based myself on. There was the first person that I could relate on TV, and it's like, oh, she's doing something different.
Mhm.
And me digging deep down, there was Janet Jackson that was mixing the dancing with the singing. Obviously we've got the Michael Jackson, Prince, uh Hendrix. There was a few people that were doing things that was like, this has never been seen on TV. So they're out there vibe and energy allow me to also tap in what I have different. And my origins from Angola, Cape Verde, Portugal, Spain, they all come, and I just want to put the sport in everything thing that the instruments just captivated that in me is like, oh, this sounds Spanish, oh, this sounds Portuguese, and I just go with the flow. Is a vibe.
Yeah, sometimes you think I can't leave anything out, so I'm trying to try and include everything that I've got there.
That's a phobia, by the way. I as soon as I get a melody, I need to register, I need to put it down, I need to record it because it will go away. And Michael Jackson used to have this thing about with his sound engineer. He used to call him at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, um, by the way, I just had this vision, this melody in my head. We need this, we need this, and we need that. I'm exactly the same. I don't have someone that I actually I have someone that I call at this crazy times. I'm sorry, Michael Genius. But I do record on my phone so I don't forget. And the next morning I'm like, oh, I'm glad that I did that. And start writing, start drawing, recording. It's many things. But yeah.
It's interesting you mention Janet Jackson, because I think often still she gets overshadowed by Michael Jackson. But I think if I was to listen to one of the Jackson's music regularly, it would be Janet Jackson. And not just that, the video and the dance and the change in styles that she went through. She's an incredible artist.
Shapeshifter. She was
Real
she
shapeshifter, yeah.
she still is, and she's still impressing me at least. She was so far ahead for her time, and I think as underdog, because Michael Jackson was so powerful in his realm that I think she, as you mentioned, got a little bit overlooked. But still, the merit cannot be taken.
No, no, absolutely right. And you mentioned as well, as a musician, you're a dancer and also an actor as well. So
Indeed.
how does everything you do kind of feed into each other? You know, is it like, it's similar
Uh,
with your influences, you don't want to leave anything out.
Indeed. The whole vibe when I started a project. I normally know exactly what I want to go for and the subject that I would like to touch, depending on the rhythm and what the music tells me. Um, but the acting side of it is the first one emerging because I imagine the scene, I imagine how I feel, I imagine the face, the body language, everything comes from the acting background. And obviously, as a dancer, you need to know these things. Is a feel, and then the way you sing and the way the voice is projected, the language that you're speaking also has a big part in it. So I think they all come together in a beautiful way that is magical. It's magical. Some I can't even describe it. It's just like I've got this idea, but only at the end, this idea is like, that's what I saw.
So
um,
already, we're getting a picture of someone who is so busy across various genres and various styles, who is phoning people at 3 o'clock in the morning with ideas. Did you know? And I mean, we spoke just before we started the recording about the promotion, not just making music, but the promotion of music as well, and how that now takes up a lot of time. Is it
right.
difficult to have time to, in all seriousness, sleep and eat and, do all these things that we're supposed to do?
Trying to not neglect any of those because every single thing is important. You need to look after your mental health first of all,
Of course.
your eating, your diet, your sports activity. I'm very lucky to have everything kind of organized. Obviously, some of them are unbalanced in some weeks, but creating content is a lifestyle right now because it's not just about me. I'm nobody by myself, so my team and the people that are around me on a daily basis, they help me promote, and if they believe enough on the hard work that I'm putting on, they are creating also content with me for me. So it's a matter of making something that also is they like it and they are there for you because they see how much you're hustling for that. So creating for TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, as we discussed, is tough. It's tough, but you should just pick one of them that it's easy enough for you to do, and then look around you, look at your tribe, and they will help you doing some videos or some photos depending on where your strength is. Delegate the rest for your friends to do it, because yeah, you need help, you need your friends, your
So
team.
that idea of a core team that's around you, that's a really important side of things.
Very, very important is the core because I even though I think I'm an octopus, I can.
Now, that won't make sense to anyone apart from you and me that were talking before.
Exactly.
You better
I
explain that.
um the idea of an octopus is like, we have so many ideas coming to our brain on a daily basis, and having our hands in so many different subjects, um, there won't be enough tentacles to touch them all. So allow some of these things to be delegated by people that actually understand and they make a living for that. And obviously you will still have the power over that, but allow them to do what they do best.
And you
Yeah.
were saying how important it is for you to have that balance of work, but also play and, looking after yourself in all those ways. And is that something that you can advise other people that you collaborate with about?
100%. I don't normally do what I say, don't do what I do. I I neglect the pleasure side of it. I don't do as much as I should. Take myself creatively for a date.
Yeah.
But I do incentive that to every single person. Don't forget to treat yourself because the more you do it, the more you will reward your creative side too.
And, people often talk about going on a journey, but you really have gone on a journey. You're originally from Portugal, is that right?
I am indeed, yes. I
Yeah.
was
So how did you go from Portugal to Scotland?
was a lack of representative, first of
Right.
all. Um, I wanted to be somebody, but I couldn't see what, who. And I think the first time that I really felt, oh, this is it, was Rihanna because she was a shapeshifter since day one. She was doing so many different things, and I was like, is this the same person? And I literally started watching her, and I was like, okay, this is something that I could see myself doing. So I moved from Portugal to London, and then I was 18, so I was trying to still enjoy life a lot more than I should. Um,
Yeah, I can imagine.
no regrets, no regrets. Although, yeah, there was a time that I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do what I came to do here in London. There's a lot of distractions. Love it. But Scotland was the place that I was like, is the place that I can settle down and also be aware of what I want to become. Yeah.
And so it was a case of coming up here to almost take it seriously, take what you wanted to do and who you wanted to be seriously.
Literally turning the page and organizing my life. I've 5-year plans since I left the country. So when the years was passing by and I didn't tick a box, I was like, I've been playing with fire this year. So
That
where
sounds
am I going next year? So it's been always a matter of consistently checking my progress. And I don't care if I did a little, as soon as I did some progress, and some years I did no progress. So I was like, I even went back in time and I was like, no, come on, Flava, you need to speed it up the process here. But Scotland allowed me to be, yeah.
And is that something you still do? Do you still kind of plan in that way?
Yes, I think 35 is my final 5-year plan. And I've got majority of the things ticked, although there is still some very important and huge ones to be ticked. I'm in a great path. I'm so thankful, but these last few ticks are super important, and that's it. After 35, I don't think that will put that pressure on me
Okay,
anymore. Not
that's
as much.
interesting. And I was thinking about the live Flava J experience. What can people expect when they come to see you live?
People don't know what to expect. That's the thing. With certain songs, I've got choreography and that is planned. I do practice a lot. When it's more of a ballad and R&B, you can expect some sort of rhythm and feel the motion. But I also been with the Dangerous as a more dancey, and people just have so much fun. Some impress moves that I do from my background, people just like they'll literally get scared, like just in case that I'm gonna break a bone or something. But it's been a journey, and seeing people getting in this journey with me has been very rewarding, especially when it comes to dancing, because
Mhm.
I think for the past 7 years, people didn't see me. I was in recovery, so as it feels great to be back.
And also that idea of going out live, but also the idea of dancing in a room, which people haven't been able to do until recently for so long. So it must feel like a real celebration when you're able to do that.
It is a celebration. It is a celebration. I think all the energy that was contained for these 3 years. Wow, it sounds crazy. 19,
That's
22.
crazy.
Yeah. This energy that was contained for so long is finally able to be exploded, and the energy that we feel from each other, the support is just beautiful to watch. Is we can literally see that we suffered being in lockdown away from each other, and it's sad that we had to go through that. But I think at the same time, we came to bring the best out of us.
Yeah, yeah. And have you plans for any live shows coming up? Is there anything that you can announce?
We've got a couple of shows coming in June. We've got exhibitions with Spit It Out Project, and um, yes, be tuned on my Instagram page because it will be a lot of updates. But this exhibition will be the not the end, but the beginning of the summer, what's to come, because there's a lot of secrets that can't be revealed quite yet, but it will be updated in the social media.
And in terms of your recorded music, have you got anything lined up next for that? Or is it too soon to say?
No, we have a big portfolio actually. It's a matter of trying to decide what is good to sound after each other, because I'm doing so many genres. It's hard to really see what fits after, for example, Dangerous just now. I
Yeah.
kind of struggled to know what could come after, because it's such a rhythmic feel. and it's just followed by a ballad. So next up we have Warriors. We Are Warriors as a African dance beat that will push people to believe that we have warriors inside of us and we don't know how strong we are until being strong is the only is the only solution. So We Are Warriors is next. And then we're gonna do a pause on the solos, and we're gonna have a lot of collaborations coming up.
Brilliant. I can't wait to hear that. And if people go and explore your music, they'll find out that literally every release is different from the last. You know, there's something different going on. We're going to hear Half of Me in a moment, which is very different again from what we've been talking about. But for now, Flava, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, it's my pleasure, my honor to be part of your show. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And this is Flava J and Half of Me.